Commentary. Discourse number 27, given in Bombay, India.
Philosophers all over the world have been arguing for centuries. What is the basic stuff the universe is made of? What's the substance? There have been propositions, systems, who say that matter is the basic reality and mind is just an outgrowth. Matter is basic and mind is just a byproduct. Mind is also material, only subtle. Charvak proposed this in India, Epicurus in Greece. And even today, Marxists and other materialists go on talking in terms of matter. Just opposite to this, there has been a second system of thinking which says that rather than matter, mind is the basic stuff. And matter is nothing but a form of mind. Vedanta and other idealist philosophers of the world, they reduce everything to mind. Just in the beginning of this century, it was thought that the materialists have become victorious because physics and other scientific investigations were proving, or appeared to prove, that matter is the basic substance. But just 2 or 3 decades ago, the whole thing changed completely. One of the greatest scientists of this age, Eddington, said that now we can say that the universe appears more to be like a thought than like a thing. And the deeper the physicists worked, Max Planck and Einstein, they came to realize that the deeper you penetrate in the matter disappears. Something more than matter, beyond than matter, appears there. You can call it mind more easily than matter, because it is a form of energy. One thing is certain, that it is not material in the old sense at all. For Tantra, for Yoga, there has been no choice. Tantra never says that matter is the basic reality or the mind. Tantra has a third standpoint, and I think that standpoint is going to win ultimately. Tantra says mind and matter both are forms of something which we can call X. Neither matter is substantial nor mind, but a third entity which exists in both, but is not confined to either, is the real. These two are the manifestations. Matter and mind are not realities but forms of a third reality, basic reality, which remains hidden. Whenever it manifests either as matter or as mind. So the whole conflict between mind and matter and the followers is baseless. If this is true, and this seems to be more true now, because the ultimate substratum physics has come to know is really neither like matter nor like mind. The division has disappeared. The duality has disappeared. The behavior of the basic substance is very vague. Sometimes it behaves like matter and sometimes it behaves like mind. You may be surprised that about individual atoms physics cannot say anything. They are unpredictable, just like any human being. About individual atoms nothing can be said how it is going to behave. It appears that it has a certain independence. No causality can predict it, how it is going to behave. We can predict mass behaviors, but we cannot predict the behavior of an individual atom. Sometimes it behaves in cause-effect terms like matter, and sometimes it behaves like mind, as if it has a will of its own, as if it has a choice. With Tantra, this physicist's insight suits very well. And why Tantra says that the basic reality is the third, the unknown, the X. Not because Tantra is interested to propound any theory about reality. No. This is proposed just as a help for sadhana, just as a help for spiritual growth. If this is so, that the reality is the third, and mind and matter are just two manifestations, then you can enter the reality through 2 doors, either from matter or from mind. If you try to enter from matter, then there are different techniques to enter. Hatha Yoga is a technique to enter the reality through the matter, through the body. You have to do something with the body, you have to transform the body, you have to crystallize certain chemical phenomena in the body, and then you will enter into the reality. Or you can enter directly through the mind. Raja Yoga and other methods are through the mind. And for Tantra, both are right. You cannot say to Tantra that a body posture, a particular body posture, how it can be helpful to enter reality. Tantra says it can be helpful, because a certain body posture is not a sphere body posture, because body is the manifestation of the reality. So when you give body a certain posture, you are giving the reality a certain form. And there are postures when you can easily enter into yourself. A certain food can be helpful. A certain practice of breathing can be helpful. These are material things, food, breathing, body. But you can enter through them. And the similar is the case with mind. Just working with mind also, you can enter. So many times the question may have arisen in your mind that Shiva goes on telling Parvati certain techniques which look just imaginary. And the question is bound to arise how imagination can be helpful. But even imagination is a mode of reality. Because the mind is a manifestation of reality. And when you change the imagination in the mind, you are changing the mode of reality. For Tantra, nothing is unreal. Even a dream has its own reality. And it affects you. So a dream is not a mere dream. Dream is as real as anything else. Because it affects, it changes you. You are different because you dreamed it. You will never be the same because a certain dream has happened. So if you dream that you are a thief, in the morning you will say it makes no difference. It was just a dream. But for Tantra it is not so. A dream of stealing, of theft, has changed you. Your reality is different in the morning. You cannot be the same. Whether you recognize it or not, it has affected you. It will affect your behavior, your future. It has become a seed. So even a dream is not irrelevant. And you think that dreams are just dreams. That's not so. Because you cannot create a dream consciously. You cannot choose a dream. It happens to you as anything else happens to you. Or can you choose a dream? Can you think a dream tonight that you are going to dream? Can you choose it? Can you will it? You cannot will it. Because to will a dream will need many changes in your reality. Only then a dream will come. A dream is just like a flower. A rose flower comes on a rose wood, a rose bush. You cannot change the flower unless you change the whole process from the seed onwards. You cannot just change the flower. A dream is a flowering. If you can change the dream, you can change reality. So many times, many techniques will appear imaginary, but they are also real. And Tantra is trying to change your imagination. If the imagination can be changed, then the hidden reality behind it will be automatically different. The techniques that we will discuss today start from your imagination, from your dreaming, from your mind. Three things have to be remembered. One, whatsoever happens to your mind is not superficial. It is happening because of you. It is happening because you happen to be in a certain situation. So two things can be done. Either change the situation, then you will have to start from the body. Because body is the situation. Or, if you are not starting with the situation, then change this happening. It will persist. It will not be easy to change it. But if you make an effort, and if you go on making the effort, if you are stubborn and are not defeated, then the very effort will change it. One thing is certain, that you may not achieve the goal that you were thinking, but that you made this effort will change. You will be different. Whether you succeed or fail, you will be different. The very effort will be counted. Thirdly, don't think that mind is just mind, and don't think that dreaming is just dreaming. If you can direct your dreaming, now there is a therapy in the West, directed daydreaming. If you can direct your dreaming, you are directing yourself. And many things will become different. In old Tibetan techniques, there is one technique. They call it lion's roar. You are angry, sexual, filled with hatred, jealousy. Then the Tibetan master will give you this technique, lion's roar. You have to sit before a mirror. And you have to imagine that you are a lion, not a man. You have to make your face like a lion. You have to bring your tongue out, and you have to roar. And you have to practice it. Unless this imagination becomes so true that you forget that a man was daydreaming that he is a lion. And when this point comes, that you have really fallen a prey to your own imagination, and you have become the lion, and the real roar comes out of you, suddenly you are transformed. In that roar, all hatred, anger, sex disappears. And you will fall into such a deep silence you have not known before. In old Tibetan monasteries, they have a special room with many mirrors. So whenever someone is suffering something like anger, hatred, jealousy, he is to be sent in that mirror room. He has to remain there unless he comes to the climax. And when he comes to the climax, the whole monastery will know, because the real lion will be roaring there. To us, he has gone mad. Then the whole monastery will gather and welcome the man, and he will come out. Totally different man. It may take 3 days, it may take 7 days. Food will be supplied to him, but he is not allowed to come out. He has to persist that he is a lion. As if from the very roots of the unconscious, the roar comes. The whole body is involved, every cell of it. Every cell roars in it. And in that roar, everything has been thrown out. It is the deepest catharsis possible. And you will never see that man again angry, because now the poison is not there. And for the first time, the face will become human. Your face cannot be human, because so much is suppressed there. The jealousy, the hatred, the anger that you have suppressed is there. Layers upon layers, just hidden under the skin. They are making your face. If they are released, and this is just a daydream, directed daydream. In the West now they have another technique they call psychodrama. That too is one of the oldest Buddhist methods. To become a part of a drama, to act it so totally that you forget that you are simply acting. The acting becomes action, and you are not the actor, you become a real doer in it. It changes you. Tantra says that if you can change dreaming, imagination, if you can change your mind and the pattern of it, the reality behind will be different, because it is deeply rooted in the reality. You can move through the mind. These techniques are just to change the way, the style your mind has been up to now behaving. The first technique, feel your substance, bones, flesh, blood saturated with a cosmic essence. Try with simple experiments. For 7 days, try one simple experiment. Feel your blood, your bones, your flesh, your body filled with sadness. Every cell of the body is sad. Dark night around you. Very heavy, depressed. Not a single ray of light. No hope. Gloomy. Just as if you are going to die. Life is not throbbing in you, but just waiting for death. As if death has already settled, or is settling. For 7 days, contemplate this, that death has entered all over the body. It has penetrated deep to the very bones, to the very marrow. Go on thinking in this way. Don't disturb this mood. And then after 7 days, feel how you are feeling. You will be just dead weight. All feeling would have disappeared. The body will not be felt alive. And what have you done? You have been eating, you have been doing everything the same as you have always been doing. Only imagination. A new pattern of imagination around you. If you succeed in it, and you will succeed. Really, you have already succeeded in it. You are doing it. You are expert in doing this, unknowingly. That's why I say start with sadness. Because if I say be filled with bliss, it will be very difficult. You cannot conceive it. But if you can do it with sadness, then you will become aware that if sadness can happen to you, why not happiness? If you can create a sad milieu around you and become a dead thing in it, why not you can create a live milieu around you and be a life dancing? Then the other becomes conceivable. And secondly, you will become aware that whatsoever sadness you have been suffering was not real. You were the creator of it. You were the author. Unknowingly, you have been doing that. It seems difficult to believe that your sadness is your imagination. Because then the whole responsibility comes to you. Then no one else is responsible. Then you cannot throw it on God, on fate, on others, on society, on wife, on husband. You cannot throw it anywhere. You are the creator. And whatsoever is happening to you, you are creating it. Try it for 7 days consciously. And then I say you will never be sad again. Because you will have known the key. And then for 7 days try. Just being in a stream of bliss, floating in it. Every breath giving you ecstasy. Just feel it. For 7 days start with sadness, and then for 7 days move to the contrary. And when you move to the direct opposite, you will feel it better, because the contrast will be there. And then only you can try this experiment, because this is deeper than happiness. Sadness is the surface. Happiness is the middle. And this is the last core, the innermost core, the cosmic essence. Feel your substance, bones, flesh, blood saturated with cosmic essence, with eternal life, with divine energy, with cosmic essence. But don't start it directly. Then you will not be able to touch it. Start from sadness, then move to happiness, and then try the origin, the very origin of life, the cosmic essence, and feel yourself filled with it. In the beginning, you will become aware again and again that you are simply imagining it. But don't stop. Even imagination is good. Even that you can imagine is something worth. You are imagining, in the very imagination you are changing. It is you who are imagining. Go on imagining, and by and by you will forget completely that you are imagining it. It would have become a reality. One of the greatest books ever written is a Buddhist scripture, Lankavatara Sutra. Buddha says again and again to his disciple Mahamati. He goes on again and again saying, Mahamati, this is only mind. Hell is mind. Heaven is mind. The world is mind. Enlightenment is mind. Mahamati asks again and again, just mind? Just mind? Even nirvana? Enlightenment, just mind? And Buddha says, just mind, Mahamati. And when you understand that everything is just mind, you are freed. Then there is no bondage. Then there is no desire. In Lankavatara Sutra, Buddha says that this whole world is just like a magical world, a city of Gandharvas, as if a magician has created a world. Everything appears to be there, but it is there only because of a thought form. But don't start with outer reality. That is too far. That too is mind, but that is very far from you. Start from the very near, your own moods. And if you become master, and you will be the master if you can feel and know that they are your own creation. Whenever you start thinking in terms of sadness, you become sad, and you become receptive to all sadness around you. Then everybody helps you to be sad. Everybody helps. The whole world is always ready to help you, whatsoever you do. When you want to be sad, the whole world is helpful, cooperative. You become receptive. Really, you fall to a certain wavelength where only sadness can be received. So even if someone comes to cheer you up, he will make you more sad. He will not look friendly. He will not look understanding. You will feel that he is insulting you. You are so sad, and he is trying to cheer you up. He thinks your sadness is superficial. He is not taking you seriously. And when you are ready to be happy, you are on a different wavelength. Now you are attuned to all the happiness that this world can give. Then everywhere flowers start flowering. Then every sound and noise becomes musical. And nothing has happened. The whole world remains the same. You are different. You have a different pattern to look, a different attitude, a different perspective. And through that perspective, a different world comes to you. But start with sadness because you are expert in that. I was reading one sentence of some old Hasid mystic. I liked it very much. He says there are certain people, if their whole life becomes a bed of roses, they will not be happy until they develop some allergy against the roses. They will not be happy unless they develop some allergy. The roses cannot make them happy. Only when they become allergic, then they will start feeling alive. They can be only attuned to sadness, to illness, to disease. They cannot be aware of anything else. They go on finding. They are searchers after something wrong, something sad, depressed, dark. They are death-oriented. I have been meeting hundreds and hundreds of persons, deeply, intimately, closely. When they start talking about their sadness, I have to be serious. Otherwise, they will not feel that I am sympathetic. They will not feel good about it. They will never turn to me again. I have to be sad with their sadness, serious with their seriousness, to help them bring out of it. And this is their own creation. And they are making every effort to make it. And if I try to bring them out, they create every type of barrier. Not knowingly, of course, because no one will do knowingly. This is what Upanishads call ignorance. Unknowingly. We go on disturbing our own life. Unknowingly, we go on creating more problems and anxieties. And whatsoever happens will not make any difference because you have a pattern. Whatsoever happens. There are persons who come to me, they say they are lonely, so they are unhappy. And the next moment someone comes, he says he cannot find a place where to be lonely. He is unhappy. There are persons who have too much work upon their mind, so they are unhappy. There are persons who have no work. They are unhappy. A person who is married is unhappy. A person who is not married, he is unhappy. It seems it is impossible for men to be happy. Whatsoever the situation, you will be unhappy. That's what I mean when I say you are expert. Very efficient in finding ways and means how to be unhappy. And you always succeed. It starts from sadness. And for the first time for 7 weeks, be consciously unhappy. That will transform you totally. Because once you know that consciously you can be unhappy, you will become conscious whenever you become unhappy. Then you will know something you are doing. It is your own doing. And if you can be unhappy by your own mind, then why you cannot be happy? There is no difference. The pattern is the same. And then you can try this. Feel your substance, bones, flesh, blood, saturated with cosmic essence. Then feel as if the divine is flowing through you. You are not, but the cosmic exists in you. God exists in you. When you feel hungry, he feels hungry. And then to give food to the body becomes worship. When you feel thirsty, he feels thirsty. The cosmic in you. When you feel sleepy, he feels sleepy. He wants rest, relaxation. When you are young, he is young in you. When you fall in love, he falls in love. Then be saturated with him. And be totally saturated with him. Don't make any distinction. Good or bad, whatsoever happens is happening to him. You just withdraw. You just are no more there. Only he is there. So good or bad, hell or heaven, whatsoever happens, happens to him. All the responsibility is thrown to him. You are no more. This no moreness is the ultimate of religion. This technique can bring you. But you have to be saturated with it. And you don't know any saturation. You don't feel your body porous. You don't feel that in your body a life energy is flowing. You think yourself something like solid, dead, closed. This can happen only when you are vulnerable, open, not closed. Life moves through you. And whatsoever happens is happening to the life energy, not to you. You are just a fragment. And all the boundaries that you have created around you are false. They are not real. You cannot exist alone. If you are alone on the earth, can you exist? You cannot exist alone. You cannot exist without the stars. Somewhere Edison says that the whole existence is like a spider's web. The whole existence, a spider's net. You touch the net anywhere and the whole vibrates. You touch existence anywhere and the whole existence vibrates. It is one. You touch a flower and you have touched the whole cosmos. You look at your neighbor's eyes and you have looked into the cosmos. Because the whole net is one. You cannot touch any part without touching the whole. And no part can exist without the whole. When you start feeling this, the ego will disappear.